Welcome back to school, and thank you for your participation on school community councils. My name is Liz Mumford, and I have 4 students in public schools and have had the opportunity to serve on community councils at the elementary and secondary level over the past years. More recently, I've been elected to serve on the Board of Education in Davis School District, and I'm a huge champion of good relationships between community councils and school boards. As we work together, we can increase the impact of trust land funds in our schools and create opportunities for our students. Let's spend a few minutes looking at the work of school community councils. You have some important responsibilities as a council to accomplish during the year. One of the things you need to do is to monitor the current plan and make sure it's being implemented properly. That means taking some time at each meeting to look at the goals from the past year and discuss with your administrator and teacher representatives on the council how those goals are going and making sure that the plan is being followed. Another thing that's required by state law is a data discussion. This is an opportunity for you as a council to look at the real numbers and data and impact on your students and verify that you're getting the results that your plan requires. The upcoming school year plan is a chance for you to look ahead, set goals, and prepare for the plan that you'll submit to your school board in the spring. Another responsibility of councils is digital citizenship. Your council's responsible for making sure there's a digital citizenship plan at your school and that it's being carried out. Ultimately, the school community council acts as an advisory committee to the local board. The local board values the work that you put into making a good plan, and they're responsible for reviewing your plan and approving it in the spring. In preparation for your plan, expenditures are a really important consideration. Your school community council should use data-driven decisions and evidence-based practices as you're determining how to spend your money. Academic goals should always be tied to the funds. Local boards and districts may not require your council to spend your trust land funds on a specific purpose, but they may be a good resource in helping you determine the best way to use your money, and the local school board will always have the final say in accepting your plan. A school community council may not spend more than $7,000 on civic and character education or digital citizenship training. When I've served on community councils, we've always found that it's best to align those civic and character education and digital citizenship opportunities to support our school improvement plan and academic progress. If you decide to include behavioral interventions in your plan, they must be part of a measurable academic goal. Graduation rates could be such an example. If you hire someone to focus on the graduation rate and they're supporting students with credit recovery and improving your graduation success and creating academic opportunities for students, it would be an acceptable expenditure. An important responsibility of your council is communicating with the community that you represent. School websites are a requirement for sharing that information. There's some certain aspects of the school website that you're responsible for maintaining. I've found the best way to do this is working with your school administrator, principal, or assistant principal to make sure that that stays up to date. That should include council members' names and contact info. That needs to be constantly updated and should include at least an email address. The meeting schedule for the year should be easily visible for parents who want to visit a meeting. You need to report to parents how the school trust land funds were used in the prior year and what was achieved. The rules of order are important to post. You may choose to follow Robert's Rules of Order or adapt some rules that work well for your council. You also need to indicate the dollar amounts that were received each year. Last of all, you need to include opportunities for parents to be involved with community councils. That can include election information and procedures for your school and an invitation for parents to come to community council meetings and listen to your discussions and share input. Another important part of your communication is following the regulation that posting meeting minutes and agendas happens 1 week prior to the meetings. You need to give notice of the meeting. That includes time, place, and date for upcoming meetings. You need to post an agenda for that meeting that includes the major points your council will be discussing. And it's also important to post a draft of the minutes from the prior meeting. Even though you may not have approved that minutes yet, those need to be posted before the meeting for members of the council to review. All minutes must be kept for 3 years, not necessarily on the website, but the principal can keep them in their office so that they're accessible to future council members or for review. Just for a few minutes, let's spend some time talking about best practices. Throughout the year, it's always advisable to look back at your budget and make sure that it's getting used appropriately. Sometimes an aide doesn't get hired till later in the year and there would be some excess funds. This is an opportunity for you as a council to make sure that the money's getting spent accurately and reevaluate if you need to make an amendment to your plan. Always be aware of carryover so that you don't keep large sums of money. The intent of trust lands money is to impact students quickly as possible, and we want to get those funds in the hands of teachers and students during the calendar year for which they were approved. If you need to make an amendment to the plan, that's definitely a possibility, and you can work with your school administrator to follow the amendment procedure and get that approved by your local school board. Also review the current year plan implementation and don't lose focus of what you're trying to accomplish. Anytime you've got questions about your school trust land, there's lots of people you can reach out to. The School Land Trust Office has resources for you on their website at schoollandtrust.org, and the number that's provided to you is also a great resource if you'd like to talk to someone in person about questions as you're reviewing last year's plan or working on your new school improvement plan. Thank you so much for your work with school community councils. It makes a real difference in the lives of our students, and I've seen the impact that it has on my children's schools. It's a growing amount of money each year as it's wisely invested throughout our state, and it's a great opportunity for us as parents and educators to work together benefiting children.